What's the secret to staying calm under pressure? If you want to win at life, it all comes down to one of the secrets of the Stoics. Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations that life is chaos, but he also writes that calmness is power. He was right. Life is inherently chaotic. There are things we can't control, but when we lose our calm, we lose our power. I am here to talk about how to be calm under pressure, because I think it is an underrated skill. So let's start with why this matters. Why should you care about being calm under pressure? Well, panic clouds your judgment. Calmness creates clarity. And so if you want better decisions, you have to first cultivate inner stillness. Let me share a quote from Seneca. "He who is brave is free." What does that mean? That whoever is calm in the face of fear has the power to make better choices. You could say the same thing about life. Whoever is calm amidst the chaos is free to make better decisions than those who succumb to panic. And no one understood this better than the ancient Stoics. They believed that the key to living well was to cultivate an inner peace, a peace that could withstand the turbulence of the outside world. So let me share 3 of their most powerful practices that they used to stay calm under pressure. The first, breath control. The second, detachment from outcomes. And third, viewing problems as temporary. First, breath control. Did you know that your breath is the link between your body and mind? Epictetus says that if you can control your breath, you can control your emotions. The ancients understood something that modern science is only now catching up to, that our emotions are directly tied to our breathing patterns. When we breathe deeply and steadily, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation and calmness. Conversely, when we breathe shallowly and rapidly, we trigger the sympathetic nervous system, which revs us up for action, or in other words, puts us on alert. In today's world, we tend to breathe rapidly, which contributes to our feeling overwhelmed and stressed. So what did the ancients do differently? Marcus Aurelius in Meditations instructs us to observe our breath. Seneca recommended deep breathing exercises. And the Stoics took such control of their breath that they would even adjust their breathing to match the rhythm of the cosmos. In the Greek and Roman world, it was common knowledge that the universe had a natural rhythm. In fact, the Stoics believed that this rhythm was the very essence of divine order. By matching our breathing to the rhythm of the cosmos, the Stoics believed they were aligning themselves with the natural order of the universe. This practice helped them to find a sense of stability and balance amidst the chaos of everyday life. Now, I don't expect you to count breaths and sync to some cosmic rhythm, but by simply being more aware of our breath, taking deep breaths, and adjusting our breathing patterns, we can train our bodies and minds to become calmer and more focused. Second, detachment from outcomes. We cannot control everything. In fact, we can't control anything in the external world at all. All we can control is ourselves. And so it's our attachment to outcomes, our desperate need to control the uncontrollable, that causes us stress. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, our reactions, and to accept what we can't. Seneca writes, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." It's not what happens to us, but rather our interpretation of events that causes our suffering. And this is the source of much of our stress. It's not external circumstances, but our attachment to those circumstances. To be calm under pressure, we must learn to detach from outcomes and focus on what we can control. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "When you rise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Instead of worrying about the future or regretting the past, we can savor the present moment and appreciate the simple things in life." And finally, third, view problems as temporary. Problems are inevitable, but the Stoics believed that they are also temporary. Nothing lasts forever, not even pain. Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, "All that we suffer, or endure is but for a moment. So let not a single act of yours be tainted by a belief in permanence. When we feel overwhelmed by a problem, we tend to fixate on how long it's been going on for. How long have you been single? How long have you been broke? How long has your business been failing? But the Stoics turned this thinking around. They ask, how long will this last? How long will this go on? And they answer, not forever. Everything ends. Even the hardest winter ends. Even the darkest night ends, and the sun rises again. Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, whatever doesn't happen is a blessing in disguise. Problems are opportunities for growth. They test our strength. They forge our character. So instead of succumbing to the fear and anxiety that accompany a problem, we can choose to embrace it. We can look for the opportunity in the challenge and trust that it will pass like everything else. You see, the Stoics weren't trying to eliminate emotions. They knew that emotions are a natural part of the human experience. Rather, they wanted to master their emotional responses. They recognized that while emotions like fear and anxiety are perfectly natural, they can also be destructive if left unchecked. The Stoics didn't want to live in a constant state of agitation. They didn't want to be ruled by their emotions. Rather, they wanted to be in control of them. They wanted to be able to call upon their emotions when necessary and to put them aside when they were not. Here's the point. In an argument, in business, in a crisis, calm people win. In fact, studies show that people who remain calm under pressure are seen as more competent and trustworthy. They're also more likely to succeed in their endeavors. But what does this have to do with you? Well, everything. Because if you want to win at life, then you have to learn to lose your calm. You have to learn to cultivate inner stillness, to master your emotions, because that's where true strength lies. Strength is often associated with physical power, with the ability to overpower others. But true strength, the kind that the Stoics were talking about, is not physical. It's mental. It's the ability to control yourself, to master your emotions, and to find inner peace amidst the chaos of life. In the modern world, we're often led to believe that strength is the opposite of calmness. We're told to push through our limits, to hustle harder, to never give up. But this is not what the Stoics meant by strength. The Stoics were not advocating for a life of constant struggle and striving. They believed that true strength lay in the ability to find stillness in the midst of activity, to maintain a sense of calm and clarity amidst the chaos of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, very little is needed to make a happy life. It's all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Being calm under pressure is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of mastery. It means that you have trained yourself to control your emotions and to find inner peace no matter what the circumstances. It means that you have the strength to face whatever life throws at you without being thrown off balance. So if you want to be truly strong, if you want to win at life, then you have to learn to be still. You have to learn to find calm amidst the chaos, to breathe deeply, to let go of your attachments, and to trust in the natural order of the universe. This is Fortitude Mindset. Stay calm, stay strong. I'm here. Thank you for watching.